Every woman is her own universe, and she has the ability to open the door to a universe, to a man, through her emotional body. When women don't understand this, we easily devalue who we are. When we are in relationship with a man, this man now has the ability to utilize that emotional energy and create more things and become more powerful. Peace and prosperity. Welcome back to Earth's Feminine. If you are new here, this is the channel where you can come to learn all about primal feminine energy, the feminine energy that existed pre-colonization, and all of the conditioning around what we now believe it means to be a woman. My name is Asaya, and in today's video, I want to break down how feminine energy, exactly how feminine energy has been devalued in our modern day society, and how, because of these subtle, insidious ways that it has been devalued, we can take on and adopt mindsets about feminine energy that cause us to accept as women less than what we deserve, less than what we are worthy of, and opt into a lot of relationship patterns and relationship dynamics that don't actually honor our true essence, our true selves. And so we'll find ourselves in relationships that ultimately end up draining us, that maybe we don't really notice anything immediately, but long term it caps us from fully realizing our potential. And this is why a lot of older women, women who haven't realized these things about themselves, will find themselves resenting or having this kind of like jealousy towards women who do have that magic, who do have that shine, who are able to manifest, who are able to live life in ease and flow and create their reality in ways that we were meant to create as women. And for any men that are watching this channel, this is basically also going to be highlighting how masculine energy is programmed to also value masculine energy more than feminine energy. How men are being wired and geared to love and pander towards men more than they are towards women. And this is really distorted because it's setting men up to energetically, unconsciously desire to be with a man. Like I talked about in my previous video explaining to women why they should always expect to be provided for by men, there are a lot of men who are adopting mindsets around providing for women, around why should I have to provide? What do you bring to the table, you know? So in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you a few of the things that I have realized on my journey have insidiously and subconsciously influenced the way that I value myself as a woman. And it's also influencing the way that we value women at large, the way men value women, and the way the collective values women at large. But not only that, it also represents the level that we actually also value our soul, the things that are unseen and intangible, and how much impact the unseen and intangible things have on our life. We tend to ignore and dismiss the intangible things when we adopt these mindsets. One of the biggest mindsets that the Western world has adopted is fact over opinion. In the Western world, we have been taught to praise facts. Praise the facts, okay? Praise the logic. And we do this in the Western world because we don't want the imbalance of basically being ruled by our emotions, because our concept and perception of letting our emotions lead is clouded with the viewpoint or the perspective that if we do things leading with emotion, we're going to be incorrect. We're going to get things wrong. We're going to make really bad decisions, because emotions lead people to have biases in favor of the facts, you know? So it's really like this trauma around people being so emotional. So the Western world, in a way, has some trauma around trusting emotions. Because of that, we have come to value facts and logic over emotions and intuition. And has become a big issue because we treat facts as if they are truth. Facts are not truth. Facts are an aspect of truth that must be merged with opinions, that must be merged with perspectives. And people don't understand that all opinions and all perspectives are not created equal. Somebody who has one opinion has a certain level of experience, okay? Somebody who has another opinion has a certain level of experience. The person that has the most well-rounded level of experience, aka wisdom that comes from that experience, is the person who's gonna have the better opinion. Okay, just like doctors and consultants and all these people, like, we go to people for their opinions all the time. We're not realizing that, right? But we go to people for their opinions all the time because opinions have power, right? When it's coming from a pure source, emotionally, right? If you are going to somebody who has not done a lot of healing, who has had an experience, who hasn't done a lot of healing around that experience, there's an integration that needs to happen. So when that integration of the emotional intelligence of the situation happens, then somebody can have a very powerful opinion. But what we focus on when it comes to opinions is the people who don't do the emotional healing, who give opinions, who follow their opinions, right? The people who haven't acclimated the intelligence and the wisdom to give a good opinion. So we despise opinions, okay? And then so we run to facts. What's bad about this is facts are and can be manipulated and misused just like opinions can be. Facts can be distorted. Facts can be put in a certain timeline and position to where it looks like it makes sense. But when you don't have the opinion, when you don't have the wisdom, which is the feminine energy, you lack totality. You lack a full, rounded, and grounded perspective on a situation. You lack a true and in-depth understanding of things. Facts represent the masculine. Opinions represent the feminine. Intuition, inner guidance, right? That gut feeling represents the feminine. Facts, logic, what is set in stone represents the masculine. So as we move deeper into this, we can also see this reflected in people's obsession with reality, all right? Reality. What is here is what we base a lot of our facts upon, is what we base a lot of what we think we know upon. But reality doesn't come from reality. Reality comes from our dream state. Our inner world reflects our outer reality. And a lot of people are fixated on reality. They are fixated on what's already here. So the way people can get caught up in this is if your reality looks a certain way, the masculine, If you are out of touch, which most of the world has been taught to devalue the feminine, you're not going to care about your emotional state, right? All you're going to care about is how you can practically change your physical reality practically, right? You're not really going to look and acknowledge the emotional and inner world that's going on within you that created that reality. People who are imbalanced in their feminine energy or don't value feminine energy will subconsciously focus more on reality than they will on their emotional inner world to change reality. In truth, the only way that you can actually impact reality is if you go and do the emotional and inner world work. Okay, that is how you change your reality, your physical reality. So this is another way where people devalue feminine energy, and they think that everything has to do with reality. Everything has to do with what's happening right now. And a lot of people do this. This is something that's very common, and this is why, you know, Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks and Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction became such a big thing, because they began to teach people that you are so focused on material reality, when in truth, this is not where creation sprouts from. Creation sprouts from your inner world. Creation sprouts from your emotional well-being. Creation sprouts from your path of least resistance. Okay, so in the law of attraction, a lot of what they talk about is code for being in alignment with the earth, the path of least resistance, okay, the path of most allowance. All of that is talking about the energy of the earth. When they talk about allowing your emotions to be your guidance system, right? This is all feminine energetics, right? They just don't call it that, but that's what it is. Hey beautifuls, so before we go deeper into this video, I have a quick little self promo and interjection. I want to make sure that you all know I have an upcoming mistress class called I Am Earth. So this mistress class was scheduled back in January, but I have rescheduled it to be at the beginning of the spring equinox. This mistress class is going to be all about re-earthing women into the truth of who they are, so that they can live life in alignment with their natural feminine energy. This is going to be unveiling misogynistic beliefs that we have come to adopt about ourselves, that has potentially previously created relationship dynamics within our intimate life, within our health, within our finances, that are holding us back from experiencing optimal pleasure in life. So this mistress class is all about reclaiming pleasure as something that is ours to receive, to experience in all of these different areas of health, finance, and relationships. So if you are ready to skyrocket these areas of your life come spring of 2024, then make sure you sign up for the I Am Earth Mistress class. The prices are currently on sale, so make sure you get the discounted price before it goes up. And yeah, we can get right back into the video. Hey y'all, so it is a brand new day and I'm continuing the video now, so this is why the scenery and everything looks different. But to continue where I left off, this is where essentially I'm going with this in the devaluation of feminine energy. Ultimately, what it looks like is it looks like an over glorification of the result, an over glorification of reality, an over glorification of facts and logic, right? Where we are living in this result oriented society that cares more about the finished product than it does the actual process to creating that product, right? When we are giving birth or getting ready to have a baby, the world cares about the product of the baby more than it cares about the actual process that a woman goes through, preconception and the 9 months of needing to produce a child, and the environment that the woman needs to be in, and the foods that she needs to be eating, and the people she needs to be around, the energy that should be surrounding her, the level of connection and peace that she's feeling within. All of these things are important, and in today's world, it has been something that has been devalued, and it's something that we don't value as much as we do the result or the reality or the logic and the knowledge in it all. So what that does ultimately is, when we end up as women entering into the realms of dating and relationships, is we go into the realms of dating and relationships, men and women, we go into it not realizing our emotional value, right? Men don't realize it, women don't realize it. Men are walking around talking about men love harder than women, and it's like, you're not understanding. You're stuck on stupid. Okay, that's what you are. You're stuck on stupid, and women are falling for that type of language and that type of these thought processes of equality, right, within the dynamics of relationships between men and women, because we have not been taught that our emotional realm is very powerful. So what happens when a woman comes into contact, let alone contact, with a man, but it enters into a relationship of any kind with a man, a woman's energy is an orb, okay? It's round, okay? Round in nature, where masculine energy is linear, it's structured, it has edges and sharpness and things like that. Feminine energy is round, it is flexible, so our energy is set up like an orb, and this orb contains all of the facets of the complexity of who we are, the complexity of the universe. So when they come into contact with us, they are literally entering into another universe. Every woman is her own universe, and she has the ability to open the door to a universe, to a man, through her emotional body, right? She has the ability to activate all kinds of energies and all kinds of activations within a man. So when women don't understand this, we easily devalue who we are. But the reality is, when we are in relationship with a man, he now has the opportunity, like I was mentioning before about, the law of attraction and the path of least resistance. It's all entangled into this understanding of emotions. This man now has the ability to utilize that emotional energy and create more things and become more powerful, right? So in order for a woman to provide this energy to a man, he must first come with trust and respect. Okay, these are two foundations of a relationship, which I have broken down in a previous video that I did, when men feel entitled to your energy. Okay, a man must provide a woman with trust and respect before he ever thinks about expecting her attention, expecting her emotional investment, expecting her to flower and flourish for him. He must first provide trust and respect. And in today's age, that trust and respect looks like you providing financially, looks like you providing monetarily, because this is the thing that we use to create stability in our life, to create grounding in our life. That's the prerequisite for a woman to even open the door for this emotional sacral energy. All right. And when a man comes in and he provides that trust and respect, and she opens the door to this emotional world that he otherwise wouldn't have access to, he can then create from that energy, right? This is the emotional energy of pleasure, of peace, of happiness, of excitement, of whatever emotions come up, right? But it's all a source of power. Emotions are a source of power. There is no power where there is no emotions, okay? That's lifelessness, right? There's nothing there to produce from. So a man gets the opportunity to expound on that emotional, in that emotional field, because men naturally are not overstimulated in their sacral center. They're just not. You don't have a womb. When you go down to the sacral area, women tend to protrude more in their sacral area than men, right? Whereas men tend to protrude more in this upper, in the upper body area. Women protrude more in the lower body area. So we're just naturally more sacral. So men absorb this energy, they take this energy, they use this energy to create their world, to become powerful, to exercise their willpower, to succeed in life, to go out and get it, to accumulate all of these things from his successes. And then the balance thing that's supposed to happen from that is that he then pours all of his all of the things that he has accumulated from his success, he pours that back into the feminine. And this is the flow of the energy centers, right? When we're looking at the chakra centers, from root chakra, the man's providing the root chakra of trust and respect. The woman is providing the emotional energy. The man then takes that emotional energy and he provides the willpower, the confidence, the success. Then he takes that energy and he pours that into a woman's heart chakra. So this is where a woman can now open her heart fully and give unconditionally from her heart, love unconditionally from her heart. So what men are doing today is they are entering into relationships with women, not understanding this. And this is why their relationships end up falling off or end up not working, because number one, they don't understand the concept and they don't understand how to build trust and respect with a woman. Okay, trust is something that, number one, is built with time. All right, so if you want someone to trust you, right, that man needs to be investing into you trusting him. And whatever that way of you trusting him looks like, that's what that looks like for you. It's going to be different for every woman, because every woman has their own needs and requirements for security. But trust is the foundation. So it doesn't matter how long it takes that, it takes for you to be able to trust a man. That trust must be built. And that is one of the things that I think annoys a lot of low effort and bare minimum men, is that they don't want to have to wait a long time. They don't want to have to invest themselves for or put a certain amount of effort in without getting something, because their whole goal, whether consciously or subconsciously, is to take from you and not give you what you need. Okay, and not give you what you need first. So an aligned and an enlightened man understands that when he builds a solid foundation of trust and respect, there is no way that you don't flower and you don't flourish with him as a woman. There is no way that you don't, quote unquote, I hate this word submit, but it's really not a submission. It's really an admiration and a respect that we have for the men who take the time to build that trust and respect with us. So this is a reason why a lot of men they say these things of, well, what are you doing and what do you bring to the table and all this silly stuff. They just don't understand. But for you as a woman, if you understand this, you won't feel the need to compromise yourself just so you can feel like you're being a fair player and you're being equal and you're not, you know, whatever it is that they say about women who decide to value themselves and know their emotional value in relationships. Okay, so this is one of the last ways that it's last, but honestly, it is one of the biggest ways that women are devalued in today's modern day and age in the Western world, and that is in the realms of spirituality. So I went over the value of our emotional energy, which we can clearly see when we're talking about the sacral energy going into the sacral chakra, or when we go into the heart chakra, right, which are both feminine energy centers within the body. But we don't really talk a lot about the third feminine energy chakra, which is the third eye chakra. It governs over a woman's intuition, okay? A woman's intuition is higher and stronger than a man's intuition. That's just what it is. And the same thing for when we go into the other feminine energy centers. That's what it is, okay? And the reason for this is because a woman naturally has a connection to, like I said before, this feminine energy is round, is flexible, right? But where do we get that flexibility from? Where do we get that fluidity from? That fluidity comes from being connected to our spine. So a woman's connection to the spine is relevant to the Kundalini energy that a lot of people talk about in the spiritual space of how powerful the Kundalini is, how powerful our Kundalini awakening is. And what that essentially means is that you are enlightened. You've activated all of your energy flow, right? The aligned energy flow within your spine. When people are disconnected from that energy, this is where a lot of physical illnesses can come up. This is where a lot of blockages within our chakra system can come up. So a woman naturally is connected to the spine, to the serpent. And I've talked about the serpent, mythical women that are also connected to the serpent, like Lilith, a whole bunch on my other channel, Asaya Mystic. So if you want to check out any of those videos, you can go there. But this is all relevant to our connection to our third eye, because we are able to sense and hear and perceive, right? This is basically where all of our psychic gifts comes from. There's so many people who do have psychic gifts, but they are unable to tap into them or access them because of the state of feminine energy and the way that we value feminine energy. How does the modern world look at spirituality, clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy? You know, I would say in nowadays it's becoming more acceptable, but it's still something that's very trendy, right? It's trendy, but nobody really is coming at it with a grounded philosophical stance on it. It's really just still a whole bunch of stuff that's up in the air. It's more information for you to hop onto, another trend for you to hop onto, and really this is a core source of feminine energy that needs to be valued again. A woman's connection to her spirituality, to her third eye, is very important because she is able to tap into energy and see things and sense things, sometimes before they happen, sometimes while they are happening. Things just easily manifest and flow into a man's life when he sees his woman as an oracle, when he sees a woman as his divine oracle, his divine guide. Right now, the modern world, what they see women as is crazy, right? When they start talking about stuff that's outside of the norm, they see women as crazy. They see women as, you know, not to be like I said before, right? Not to be trusted with that emotional energy. But the man that knows, okay, the man that trusts and knows in a woman's intuition is a very blessed man indeed. And not just that, but when you yourself as a woman honor and value yourself as the oracle, you give yourself the opportunity to bless yourself and your family and your relationship in ways that will honestly baffle you. Because when you suppress this spiritual energy, so many things in your life, right? It's like issues and problems and these reoccurring things won't go away, right? And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a physical thing, it can be an experience, whatever it is. But when you truly decide to lean into that thing and see, what is this telling me? What is this showing me? What is this physical illness or this physical thing or this reoccurring issue? What is it telling me about my power, right? My spiritual power. That is, my lovelies, that is where you become a powerful woman. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Do you feel like women have been devalued in the ways that I have mentioned in this video? If so, what are the ways that have resonated with you the most? And if you have any questions, also put that down in the comment box below, and I will meet you all there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.